What's it all for? Why go to all of this trouble? If I was source energy and I understood all of this before, tell me again, why would I come into this experience? We won't yell. Esther translates our enthusiasm in volume. Because this is the leading edge, and it's where we all want to be. It's where the new ideas are bursting forth. It's where the new energy is flowing. It's where it's all happening. You are out here on the leading edge, and the happier you are, the more you are allowing all that we are to flow with you in this leading edge moment. So does that make it go better? Yeah, but that's not the point. It's for the revelry. It's for the joy. It's for the feeling of expansion. It's for the feeling in the moment. Everything that every one of you want, no matter what it is. A material object, a relationship, a pile of money, a circumstance, an event, an empire, everything that you want, no matter what it is. You want it for one reason only, and that is you think you will feel better in the having of it. And if we can convince you that you can find the feel better part even before it fills in manifested form, then you've got it all figured out. If you can turn it to the place where you can feel it first, then you've got what you were going for anyway, but the grid has to fill in with the details. But if the grid filling in with the details is the reason that you're doing, then it's all out of whack and it won't work. Isn't it interesting? We have to convince you that the manifestation doesn't matter before the manifestation can happen. I don't want the manifestation. Oh yeah, I do. I really do. I really do. I really do. I don't want a virtual lover. I don't want a virtual pile of money. I want the real thing. But what you want is the feeling of it. You want the feeling of it. And when you find the feeling of it, the grid will fill in with the specifics of it. But if the specifics of it are so important that you're all bent out of shape because the specifics of it haven't filled in yet, then you don't find the vibrational feeling place of it, and then the grid doesn't fill in. Isn't that interesting? You've got to find the feeling of it, and when you find the feeling of it, then as our friend said earlier, then it's just the next logical step, and it doesn't matter that much. So where do you find your joy in all of this? Abraham, are you saying that first I have to figure out that I want it, and then I have to get over not feeling bad that I don't have it before I can have it, but then by the time I get over not feeling bad about not having it, and I have it, then it's no big deal. Is that what you said? Pretty much. That is what we said. And that causes your brain to twist into a knot because it's sort of sideways of the way that you've been looking at it. But consider this. What if you intended to come and explore the buffet and that it was all right even though you liked some of it more than others of it? What if that was the plan all along? What if you came to use the power of your ability to focus to define what you specifically want because you understood that once you line up with that it would flow to you? What if you knew that the source within you would hold the pure positive part of everything that you ask for and send you a steady stream so that you would always know the path of least resistance toward the fullness of what you want? And what if what you want is joyful moment, joyful moment, joyful moment, joyful moment, joyful moment? What if you came to go from a moment of interest to a moment of love, to a moment of joy, to a moment of fascination, to a moment of passion? What if the whole reason that any of this exists is just for these joyful moments of divine intertwining with one another, for the purpose of allowing that which is source and that which is love to flow radiantly through everything that exists? What if that is really what it is all about? And what if you were born with such a magnificent guidance system that you can tell in the nanosecond that you're beginning to deviate from it? What if you have such supreme guidance within you because you've been at this for a long time, because you are a powerful, powerful creator? What if in the moment that you feel a little bit of negative emotion, you could say, I can feel that guidance. I can feel that I'm starting to deviate from what life has caused me to know that I want. Now, how is it that I can come back into the alignment, to the full, in this present moment, joy that I am all about? So many people stand in the absence of something wanted, using the absence of that something wanted to deprive themselves of the alignment which is necessary for them to have what they want. Isn't it just the most fascinating thing? Don't you find it fascinating that once you don't care if it manifests and you're all excited about aligning with the essence of it, that then the grid must fill in with the details of it? And that's why you came. Because nothing is more delicious than the molding of this clay. Nothing is more delicious than to define what you want from your important perspective. Nothing is more important than to launch a rocket that you're not completely up to speed with, and then to get up to speed with it because you are exercising the power of your own ability to focus with source energy, encouraging you every step of the way and adding more emphasis and more energy. Nothing feels better than coming into alignment, you see. So would you ever be able to experience the deliciousness of coming into alignment if you never got out of alignment? Would you ever be able to experience the true deliciousness of a fabulous meal if you'd never been a little hungry? Isn't the contrast part of what sharpens not only your desire for things, but your appreciation of them, you see? So it's just this constant platform of never-ending opportunities to appreciate this moment, this person, this interest, this idea, this piece of art, this planet, this idea, this, more. It is the mantra of the universe, you see. As you focus on this energy and you recognize that it's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So there's a balance that you're wanting to accomplish. For the most part, when people are experiencing negative emotion, that uncomfortable time before what you're wanting has manifested in a way that you can see it and believe it, it's almost always without exception because they are focused upon some sort of lack in a strong way. It's either a lack of money or a lack of time or a lack of space, a lack of something that they want. Time shortageness is something that in this very fast-moving environment, a lot of you are dealing with. And it's not because time has become shorter, it's because desires have become more. But that's really not the total answer here. Time hasn't become shorter, but it's not just because choices have become more, it's because focus has become diminished. Which is the reason that the idea of the torrents isn't such a good idea. In other words, the more that is out there, then the more watered down you become. If your phone is ringing 50 times a day, you're less productive than when it rang 5 times a day. If you're spending the whole day answering emails or getting on Facebook or trying to answer so many more people than you really want to have in your life at any point in time, you are creating for yourself a time shortage. But it's not the time shortage, you're creating for yourself a focus shortage. Because when you're focused here and 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 here, you don't allow the momentum that will really help you, you see. And so that's what you were describing to us, that when you step away from that feeling of responsibility, from that feeling that you gotta do it, and you step back into a place of more relaxed experience, your frequencies balance out a little bit because there's not so much frenzy, which means the resistance leaves them and your vibration raises, and then you allow the contents of your vortex to flow more comfortably into your experience. So there's been a long time debate, really an argument with humans about spirituality and materialism. And we say everything that is here is spirit. And so everything that you manifest is that. But the argument has also been about how much action should I apply, or how much thinking should I apply? Should I be meditating, or should I be working? Should I be trying, and that was the reason that we began describing the 3 steps to creation. Of course, the contrast is going to force you to focus. It just is. You're going to focus, and desires are going to be focused into your vortex whether you know that they are there or not. But they are. They are the byproduct of life experience. They are the byproduct of the extraordinary exposure that you have to so much that is around you. So all of that contrast is putting all kinds of things into your vortex. So the faster life goes, the bigger the economy is, the more options that you have and the more experiences that you get to live, the more you put into your vortex and the faster that energy moves, which means it is more and more and more important for you to bring yourself vibrationally up to the speed of that which is in your vortex. But if you're trying to do it with action, if you're trying to do it with accountability or with responsibility or with diligence or with effort, what happens is you get into that time shortage mindset, because that's not the way the universe is established. This isn't a universe that is built with action. It's a universe that is vibrational, and the things that happen are about alignment with one thing or another. Alignment with things wanted and alignment with things not wanted. So as you are pretty clear that you've lived enough life and you're putting things into the vortex, those rockets of desires, is certainly right. That's where goals go. I really want that, and I really want that, and I want to meet this quota, and I want to do this more than I did last month or last year. All of that is the byproduct of exposure to life. But once it's there, leave it there. Don't keep beating the drum of the question. If you keep asking the question and 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 asking the question, you are never, ever, 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 ever going to hear the answer. Give it a rest. We heard you the first time. So once you've asked the question, once you know what you want and you've put it there, now it is time to prepare your grid by making sure that you're expectant, by acknowledging. You said several things. It always comes. It always comes. But you also said it always comes hard. So you've got two expectations that are converging, that are giving you what you want the hard way. So it's time for you to start saying what you want, but start putting easier dialogue around it. It always comes. I don't know why I sweat it. That's a really cute thing you're talking about, being the bitchy place in the hallway, but it does not serve you. It doesn't serve you. It's really funny. It got the best laugh of the day, better than ours, and we were a little irritated. But it does not serve you, because one door will open and another door will open and another door will open and another door will open. And friends, you don't want all the doors to open at the same time, because that's focus that is diffused. You like it when one door opens and another door opens and another door opens. And if you can trust that within this vortex, the contents of the vortex is all that you want, and in there with all of everything that you want is source, is your inner being, all who know the precise timing that would give you not everything you want, but it's not the everything you want that they're ready to give you, but the precision of the timing of it. In the same spirit that you don't want every meal that you will ever eat to come to you today. You don't want them all today. You want them to come and satisfy you and come and satisfy you and come and satisfy you for all of the days of your life experience. And that's the way the contents of the vortex are coming to you. So there are only two things that are controlling what comes to you and when it comes to you. And that's your desire and your belief about it. Your desire, there's a better word, your desire and your expectation about it. And your expectation is what we're talking about when we talk about this grid. We want you to see that the grid is the preparation of your expectation. When Esther says, this equipment is magnificent. I love pushing a button and all the shades coming down. And I love pushing the button that says good night and all the lights turning off and the sound system's turning off. I love the ease of all of that. And I love walking in and pushing the welcome button. And I love the house lighting up and saying hello and things flashing and music coming on. I like every bit of that. But it's finicky, she says. But it's finicky if she could leave the finicky part out. If she could leave the troublesome part out. If she could just appreciate what it gives and not condemn what it doesn't give. Because she's keeping it active in her vibration. It's an expectation. I always do it, but it's hard. So what this conversation really is about the power of the vibration, the power of the energy, the power of the law of attraction, and just sort of letting it ride out. Esther, what comes to her mind every time we say that was being in Estes Park with the grandchildren on a big slide, and the reluctance that Kate felt about going down the slide, and she kept turning around, maybe wanting to get up, maybe wanting to walk back down the stairs, which seemed more of a problem to Esther than the slide. So Esther just nudged her just a little over the edge, because she knew that once the momentum took her, the debate about whether to stay or go was over. She is going. And she wasn't going to turn around mid-slide. Esther had seen enough to know what was going to happen. So as you hold that thought in your mind and you realize the futility of once the law of attraction has a hold of your active vibration and is often running with it, you might as well just relax and enjoy the ride, or not enjoy it. But just give up the struggle, because the struggle just makes it worse. That's what you said. It just gets worse and worse and worse. But then, do your creating in advance. First of all, we want to say that it is the most normal thing in the world to be a clear desire of something and to be looking right at its opposite and not feel negative emotion. Of course, you're going to feel negative emotion. And we also want to say, and we want all of you to hear this, write it down and remember it and use it as an opportunity.